Has anyone ever watched any pyramid like conspiracy videos? Because I've actually watched some. I've watched like so much before. I've actually wait. Let me find something before we play this video. I have not only been to the pyramids and for representation, I'm sure she wouldn't mind me showing this. This is my mum next to one of the stones. That's my mum next to one of. That's how big the stones are. I've also been inside of the pyramids, like, oh, wrong way. I've been inside of the actual pyramids. This is me inside the Great Pyramid. That's me inside the Great Pyramid. That's what it looks like inside, climbing up all the stairs. And I've climbed into the King's Chamber. That's what it looks like. It's so weird and it's so small and confined. That's me. W Gucci bag as well. Fuck off. Well wicked as well. Anyway, let's watch. Let's see what they're saying. Like, bro, there's no way. There's no way. Yeah, true. It was one of the best experiences I've ever had, Finn.
This is the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Been inside!
For over 4,600
I've penetrated
years,
this pyramid
in the Egyptian desert. For most of human civilization, it was the tallest building in the world. It was built to last for eternity because it was meant to house a god. It has survived earthquakes, erosions, and wars, countless plunderers, British explorers blasting their way in with dynamite, even Mr. Beast.
Someone 4,500 years ago put this.
I've been in there, bro. Me and Mr. Beast been in the same room, just not at the same time. One thing that does shock me, I don't know, you guys must know this fact, it's well known, but the Great Pyramids, they line up exactly, I think, with the equator or something like that. They line up perfectly to north with star constellations. And I think another thing is it weighs the exact same as the Earth, but on a smaller scale, which is like, I can't even comprehend that. Like, that's not even comprehensible. And when I was there, you know the Sphinx that they have? I have, they line up with, I can't remember what they line up with, but the Sphinx had water erosion marks on it as well. Like, I saw it with my own eyes. It's so weird. The pyramid is just a cover-up, I swear, like all the tunnels. Yeah, all the tunnels, I don't even think it's a cover-up, because why would you make a cover-up that's, like, the same weight as the Earth? But at the same time, it's like, why are there so many tunnels and stuff underneath that nobody knows about? Like, I only went in one section of the pyramid, and it's massive. And at the top, like, triangle was made out of solid gold. I think they took the gold off it, but it was made out of solid gold. Have I been to Paris? I've been to Paris.
Right here.
The 2.3 million stone blocks, some with a mass of up to 15 metric tons, make it one of the heaviest human-made objects.
Do you know how heavy
of all
15
time.
tons is? Like, my old workplace was a welding place, and we had a 15-ton crane, or was it 10-ton? I think it was a 10-ton crane. And you're telling me that thing couldn't pick up one of the... Bear in mind, we do like massive, we did massive work there. And you're telling me that crane couldn't pick up one block of the pyramid? Something wrong with that, bro. Have you seen the Sam and Colby vid where they go into the Paris catacomb? No, I've not. I'd have to look at that.
It's also built with incredible precision. Its base is
Right,
roughly
that
the
top
size
bit's
of
gold.
7 New York City blocks, and almost perfectly level, never deviating more than an inch. The 4 sides are aligned to the cardinal directions with near perfect accuracy.
That's what we're talking about.
Thousands of years before the compass was even
It's
invented.
ridiculous.
To this day, no one has found out how exactly it was built. To really understand the Great Pyramid, we modeled the whole thing, and we will tackle 3 fascinating theories of its construction. This is the insane
Yeah, so do
engineering
I,
of
Liv.
the
So
pyramids.
do I. I love him so much. I love conspiracy theories.
Introducing Grammarly.
I don't know why, they just really, really intrigue me.
This is Khufu, a pharaoh of ancient Egypt. He's king of the wealthiest nation on the planet, and he's a god. He's going to live forever, and he needs somewhere to live out his immortality, a home that will last. It will need to be incredibly secure to house all of his riches, and it should also look amazing. His father Sneferu, also a god, is buried here. He's the pharaoh who taught Egypt how to build its pyramids, but the lines on his aren't quite perfect. Something went wrong. Khufu can do better. He can bring even more glory to Egypt. The nation is still mourning Sneferu's death, Khufu wants to lift the people up by drawing them into the most incredible project humanity has ever attempted. And then surely they'll love him, and later remember him. More than his dad.
Well, I mean, he's correct. I mean, I'm watching about him right now, which is...
A project as grand and ambitious as the Great Pyramid can only be pulled off by a very wealthy and very organized nation. The nation of Egypt is just that, thanks in large part to the Nile. Every year, the Nile overflows and fertilizes the land with rich topsoil. This gives ancient Egypt the ability to grow excess crops to keep its production well fed, and to sustain its...
Space blows my mind so much I can't comprehend how big it... Oh, yeah, honestly, I could go into that for... Honestly, I like conspiracies and space and all of that stuff. I could go into for hours, literally. I thought you were playing something. Yeah, but Finn mentioned this, and I love talking about it, so we're watching.
The army regularly goes out and terrorizes Egypt's neighbors, plundering their wealth to bring home for the pharaoh.
So Khufu has all the money he needs to build something very, very extra. But money isn't everything. Khufu also needs the smartest architect to design a building that will set him up for eternity. There's only one man for the job, Khufu's half-brother, Hemiunu. He was born for the role, a once-in-a-generation genius.
I've never learned this
The
about
design for
pyramids,
his pyramid won't just follow in his father's footsteps, it will surpass it in every way. He envisions a pyramid far grander, more complex, and more secure than anything built before. A true quantum leap in architectural mastery. Hemiunu plans to build a pyramid primarily out of solid stone. Inside will be 3 burial chambers, with a passageway leading to each. The first is built underground, in case Khufu dies early into the pyramid's construction. The second will be hidden behind a false wall, so nobody can plunder the riches inside. Leading up to the third and highest burial chamber
Even that
is
is
a majestic
ridiculous.
corridor with stunningly high corbelled ceilings, the Grand Gallery.
I think that's the one that I
The King's
walked through.
Chamber will be
Yeah, that's the
breathtaking.
one. That one there is the one that I've walked through into the King's Chamber, which is that's where that picture was took. Where I'm like that. You're actually shaped like a pyramid. What? Currently eating pizza. What pizza you got? Ollie, the title on your stream's wrong. Oh yeah, I'll sort it out after the video. It's like NASA stopped exploring the ocean for some reason. Oh, bro, yeah, that ocean, the ocean, genuinely, I think it's one of the things that intrigues me the most. I'll be honest, like, cause something about it, I don't know what it is. It's just so, I feel like there's always a gut feeling that you're scared of what's in there as well. Why? You know? We should do a stream where we talk the whole stream about space and... Oh, yeah, I'm so down.
Hemiunu
I'm
to
so
flex.
down for that.
It'll be huge for ancient Egyptian standards. It will be built entirely from pink granite monoliths, quarried far away from
Zest
Aswan, fitted together so precisely that you couldn't slip a
What's
razor
wrong with a
blade
little
in between
zest,
them.
bro? It's good for the
Inside
diet.
a granite sarcophagus, Khufu will finally be laid to rest.
Once complete from the inside, the pyramid will be encased in perfectly smooth white limestone. It will dazzle in the sunlight and gleam in the moonlight. Finally, a golden capstone, the pyramidion, will be placed on top. Once all is put in place, Khufu will be ready for eternity.
Building a pyramid might take an empire, but to build your dream business, you only need Shopify.
Fair.
The pyramid should
Fair.
be built as
Get
quickly
that
as
back,
possible,
son.
so that at least one of the burial chambers is ready before Khufu's mortal self dies.
I'd love to go back to Egypt. Egypt is so interesting. There's so many places. I can't remember. I've been to Sham and Cairo. I'd like to go to... I can't remember the specific place. My mum knows all about it. Where there's like more pharaohs' tombs and architecture that just... It's so fascinating. I'd explore the ocean if NASA won't. Bro, I'd love to, but it's just so scary as well. But I'm so intrigued about it. I don't know why.
Hemiunu is aiming for a timeline of 20 years for the whole project. He calculates that the Great Pyramid will require up to 25,000 builders, a significant portion of ancient Egypt's population of about 1 million.
How many
So a
thermites
great
knock down the
recruitment drive
pyramids?
But how exactly
Fair, they have a big breach charge. I'd say about 11.
did they do it? Well,
Just all around the
nobody
bottom.
knows. The debate's been raging for hundreds of years, and researchers are constantly uncovering new archaeological evidence and bizarre engineering quirks that give birth to new theories. Sometimes with cutting-edge tech, sometimes by sheer dumb luck.
There are theories supported by scientific research, which we will cover.
And there's tons of dubious theories that rely on wild speculation, which we'll ignore.
We've broken down 3 scientific theories about
What?
the
We're
underlying
ignoring
wild
the alien shit. No. That's what I'm here for, bro.
speculation.
That's
which we'll
what I'm
ignore.
here for.
We've broken down 3 scientific theories about what the Egyptian secret could be.
In order
I
of
wonder if
easy,
they ever thought
medium,
about, like,
and hard.
I need a room to, you know, we need room to goon in. Because when I went to an ancient Roman house, I can't remember when, they had a room that was specifically for orgies. And that's not even on some, like, crazy weird shit that I'm talking about. I'm being genuinely serious. No, I'm being genuinely serious. Like, yeah, this is going on YouTube. They had a room in there specifically built for people like Harrison to smash everybody they can. I don't know. I feel like the Egyptians were probably on that as well. On some crazy shit. GTA. I played GTA yesterday, so we're not going to do that again today. I love talking about the paranormal as well. Yes, bro. All of that, I genuinely could sit there but under the stars and talk about it for hours. I really could. I genuinely could. I reckon the Egyptians were all zesty. Next trip is Egypt.
You asked
Why
for
so
more
many
ways
ads,
to create.
bro? Egypt's a nice place. It's mad hot as well.
Imagine
Also
you and
did
some
Reacts yesterday. Yeah, but Reacts is fun. Playing the same game every day, I don't know. I want to do different shit, man.
co-workers have to hoist a block
Get YouTube
as heavy
Premium.
as a double-decker bus, 130 meters into the air. The only tools your boss gives you are some rope, some wood, and some rubble. If you've got something heavy, you've got to move somewhere high. The simplest, most straightforward way is to just drag it up a ramp. You tie it with some rope, get help from as many people as can fit on the ramp, and heave it up together. As the pyramid
Surely
grows,
not.
the ramp would be raised and extended to accommodate the increasing height.
Do you know how big a
No
ramp?
crazy
Do you know how big a ramp you
the
need?
advanced machinery necessary.
Imagine a
Most
mech about it.
Egyptologists have traditionally supported the external ramp theory.
Shut the fuck up!
continues-
You play Siege every day. Yeah, because Siege is the best game ever, bro. There's only so much GTA people want to watch. Same with Siege, obviously, but I genuinely enjoy playing Siege. GTA can get boring quite quickly for me because it's an old game. If it was GTA 6, I'd be playing it every day, all day, every day, every day, all day, every day. GTA 5 is more like a same with Minecraft, once a week.
to be the go-to explanation for
Watch
how the
World
builders
Theories,
pulled it
are they?
To move a 2-ton block up a slope, you need a team of about 12 workers. And as the pyramid starts to grow, your ramp either needs to become steeper or longer to reach the top. You're going to want that incline to be as gentle as possible, otherwise the job is too intense and workers will start dropping like flies. The remains of the workers suggest most were in decent but not spectacular health. These were everyday people, not super elite athletes. Many died before 40 due to the incredibly hard work. Engineers calculate that 8% is the
440.
steepest incline for average workers to complete their task. In consequence, the ramp has to become longer. To build a ramp to the full 147-meter height of the pyramid at a gentle enough incline, this ramp would need to be very, very long. Like way more than a kilometer. It would require
Yeah, bro,
3
that's-
million tons of material, up to 3 times as much volume as the entire pyramid. Remains of such an enormous ramp haven't been found, and it would take thousands of workers decades just to build it. Decades Khufu doesn't have to spare. There is a way to keep the ramp shorter. You could build a corkscrew
They
ramp
did
that
not
spirals
build a
around the
ramp.
sides, like a
There's
road
no
winding
way
up a
on
mountain.
earth they built a
Every time the
ramp.
pyramid grows,
You would-
the ramp grows with it.
On other pyramids, you can see the old ramp, bro. Like, you can actually, like, you can see where the ramp used to be. There's no evidence of a ramp now. You should try something like Sea of Thieves with your mates or something. I don't know, it's just a suggestion. Don't hit me, I'm sorry. My friends used to play Sea of Thieves. I've never played it. But I don't have many friends at game. That's why I'm excited for when Ezekiel starts streaming. Yeah, they're so much better. Yeah, I'll definitely watch them. You ever watch Top Boy? Of course I have. Where's my Sully Duchesne? Average lifespan then was in the 30s, but oh really? Oh yeah, I
eventually
guess it
just
was
becomes
much
part of the
shorter, wasn't
pyramid
it?
Itself.
Because of disease.
That would be a pretty ingenious way to save up on space and material, and it would explain why we haven't found any remains of a ramp.
Yeah, that's why I like doing stuff like this on Streamlive, because I love to talk about it and I'd love to get other people's opinions as well. So we'll do this much more often. I know what you're going to say about Michael Ward. That came out ages ago. I think it's only just been convicted, like actual gone through trial. But he got alleged a long time ago. I don't have any opinions on it because I don't know the situation, but I just think he's thrown his career away, to be honest. I think whatever happened in that scenario, it should never happen. And I think, like the young one, I don't know. He's just, what pushes you to do that? You know, people can be on a bad path. Everyone's different, but everyday people think like, how could he do that? But you never know what's going on in someone's life, and I think it doesn't make him a bad person, but it just means like, what are you doing, bro? Like, he's probably been in multiple situations where no one's double checked on him and been like, what are you doing, bro? Like, I don't know. It's just yeah, because consent is nice, bro. Like, I don't know. You've got to be wrong. Like, it's just wrong. I don't know. I don't have any opinions on it, but I just, obviously, it's only right that he probably does go to prison so we can think about what he's done, because that affects other people's lives. Ollie, don't follow in his steps, bro. I don't even chat to girls. I wouldn't even be no opinion because you're the same. No, I'm just saying no opinion because it's like, I don't have a strong opinion on it because I don't really like, I just don't have a strong opinion on it. However, obviously it's incorrect. I think he should go to prison so we can think about what he's done, because it's affected someone else's life, and shit like that does affect more than just their life and his life. But it's like, I don't know. Time is a healer. He could come back and sort his life out, same way people that are in gangs do. But it's like, bro, you're on a big pedestal. I used to look up to him. I used to actually look up to him. I used to think he was cool as shit. And then he's going out and doing that. I don't know. It's weird, bro. Baffles me how they built the pyramids. I think it baffles so many people. Sure, bro.
But it comes with a whole new set of problems. The pyramid's triangular faces need to be accurately maintained at precisely 51.9 degrees from the bottom to the top. Surveyors need to measure the edges constantly to ensure there's no deviation. If you're off by even a few centimeters at the bottom, the top could be off by several meters. Since the spiral ramp blocks your sight, it's almost impossible to ensure that all the lines of the pyramid are actually straight, which would leave you with a crooked pyramid at the end.
It's ridiculous.
And as we know, the Great Pyramid is in fact not crooked. This brings us to theory number 2. It's the late 90s. A French engineer, Henri Audin, is watching a documentary about the pyramids. It explains the pyramid construction with the external ramp theory, but Henri is skeptical. To his engineering mind, it just doesn't make sense. He calls up his architect's son, Jean-Pierre Audin, and asks his opinion. Jean-Pierre is intrigued. Without knowing much about ancient Egypt at all, or even visiting the pyramid, he starts puzzling over other ways the blocks could have been lifted. He labors over it obsessively for years, until he's finally ready to share it with Egyptologists. Most of them ignore him. He's an outsider, and it's a field notorious for gatekeeping.
French guy who knows nothing, because there is no evidence.
But his theory has since gained traction, because Audin has put himself into the shoes of Emeunu, thinking through every last detail. His theory could even explain how the heaviest granite beams might have been moved without needing to be hauled by 600 workers.
Would there not be evidence of it though? If there was an internal ramp, surely there would be evidence of that. Like, you wouldn't, if you were to build that ramp, how are you then to build everything else around it and knock down the ramp? It doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense. No, I have to do a video from full to end for YouTube, bro.
Emeunu does use an external ramp for the first part of the pyramid, up to around 60 meters. But he doesn't just build a basic ramp made of rubble. No, his ramp is made of limestone. The limestone blocks that will later compose the upper layers of the pyramid. That would explain why we haven't found any remains of a ramp around the pyramid.
Oh, he's just answered my question.
In front of us. The short external ramp is used to build the widest, lower levels of the pyramid. It's also used to haul the heavy granite beams that compose the king's chamber. But hundreds of workers.
It would make sense if they used them as material as they were going down.
So Audin believes Emeunu used the long 46-meter corridor, the Grand Gallery, as an ingenious counterweight system. It would have been built opposite the external ramp, and its size and slope would be leveraged with counterweights that would assist workers in getting the granite up to the king's chamber. The Grand Gallery is a weird space in the Great Pyramid. It has details that puzzled archaeologists for a long time, like why it's so tall, so narrow, and why it has stone
I just showed you a
benches
video
running
of me in there.
Audin believes the Grand Gallery helps move impossibly heavy stones by functioning like a railroad track. The stone benches are actually the rails for carts on wooden rollers. Remember, no wheels. Essentially, a huge granite block at the bottom of the external ramp would be attached with a rope to a trolley car loaded up with heavy blocks at the top of the Grand Gallery. When the trolley car is rolled down the Grand Gallery, the heavy granite block would be pulled up the ramp. There's even evidence of scuffing from the repeated impact of something heavy in the Grand Gallery. So it's a possible explanation of what this unique corridor was used for.
It
Once the
is
heavy
really
granite beams
weird
are
and
in
unique
place,
inside.
the-
It's when you're inside, it's like skinny and ridiculously tall for no reason, and you can't scale the walls. It's so weird inside. Ping everyone when Ollie drops a vid and link it. I did that today. What do you mean? I have been promoting the YouTube. I posted twice today. I didn't link the second video, but I did ping for the first one.
external ramp has served its purpose. Now, the pyramid is too tall for it to be practical, so the builders switch things up. They dismantle the external ramp and use its blocks to start building the rest of the pyramid from the inside out, with an internal ramp, kind of like the driveway spiraling up inside a parking garage.
This second ramp would have been built from the bottom up, with an incline of about 7%.
It would go straight up until it hits one of the pyramid sides, where it would make a sharp left continue up another side at the same incline. The ramp continues zigzagging up the pyramid, with the flights of the ramp getting shorter as the pyramid narrows. From the bottom to the top, the internal ramp is over 1 kilometer long. Moving heavy blocks up an incline is
Oh, that
manageable,
actually does make
especially if you're
sense.
using a sled over smooth limestone.
That actually does make
But
sense.
each time the ramp turns a corner, the workers have the enormously difficult task of pivoting the heavy stones. Odon calculates the ramp had to be less than 3 meters wide, and the workers would have needed somewhere to stand to turn the block. So he proposes that at the end of each flight of the ramp, there must have been a big space left open for the workers to turn the block, possibly with the help of wooden levers or cranes. The empty spaces would also be a nice place for the workers to catch their breath. And there's actually evidence of one of these spaces. There's a previously unexplained notch that corresponds to Odon's predictions for what the spaces would look like, about 83 meters up the pyramid. Odon's theories about the Grand Gallery and the internal ramp offer viable solutions to two of the pyramid's biggest mysteries: how 2-ton blocks were lifted so high, and how 50-ton beams were moved without the space for the hundreds of workers needed to haul them. But if he's right, the ramp's
Who would
design would
Germany
have been
play in
highly
Panama?
complex. Its path would have to be designed with great care to avoid intersecting with any passageways or chambers within the pyramid. Critics of his theory are either unconvinced that its construction is supported by archaeological evidence, or wave off the internal ramp as overcomplicated. Many suggest the external ramp theory is likelier because it's simpler, but ancient Egyptian workmanship exhibits extraordinarily high levels of precision in so many aspects.
It is just ridiculous.
Why not also
isn't it?
apply this ability to a highly sophisticated ramp design? And also, why not entertain an even more sophisticated theory for how they built the pyramids?
Water elevator theory. Pardon? They're playing wait, nah, this is like Minecraft IRL, bro. Nah, pardon?
In 2024, a flurry of newspaper articles
Wait, hold on, because I did say that at the start. I said there was water damage on the pyramids. Like, I saw visible water damage.
announced that the mystery of the pyramids was finally solved, thanks to brand new archaeological evidence. As it turns out, the Nile might just be the key to the mystery of how the pyramids were built.
Nowadays, the Giza Plateau lies in an arid strip of the Sahara Desert, kilometers away from the lush banks of the Nile. But during the time that the pyramids were built, the landscape may have looked very different. A 2024 study combined radar satellite imagery with deep soil coring techniques. This way it identified what appears to be a long-lost branch of the Nile flowing alongside the majority of the pyramids. The pyramid builders probably used this branch to move heavy stones straight to the pyramid base, instead of dragging them all the way from distant quarries.
More than plausible that the builders used the Niles to transport the blocks horizontally. But what about vertically? Another peer-reviewed study from 2024 offers a fascinating theory. It proposes a radical and controversial idea. The ancient Egyptians might have used hydraulic power to raise heavy stones. In other words, a water-powered elevator. The idea of such an elevator is not new, but for a long time, credentialed Egyptologists considered such theories
Yeah, I'll cut
fringe
the
and
ads out.
unscientific, just speculations cooked up by pyramidians. They might sound cool, but there was zero evidence to actually support them. Until, perhaps, now. The researchers, including hydrologists, mechanical engineers, and geographers, found evidence that the earliest Egyptian pyramid could have been built using a floating wooden elevator capable of raising heavy stones with far less human labor. The water elevator would have worked something like this. Rainfall and floodwater would be collected into a nearby structure that functions as a dam.
A system of underground conduits guides that water
Oh
into
my
a shaft
God.
running from underneath the pyramid up through its central axis.
Kind of like a volcano.
That is so
This
smart.
internal shaft is where all the upward movement is generated. Within the shaft, floating on the water surface,
'Cause
is a
that'd be
heavy wooden
pressure.
platform, which workers would load up with heavy stones from the ground level. Then they'd open and close valves near the bottom of the shaft, which would feed in or drain out the water. Manipulating the water levels in this way would raise and lower the wooden platform like an elevator. It could raise the platform to heights of at least 17 meters. Then workers would unload the stones and construct the pyramid from the inside out.
The study's lead author claims his theories could also help explain.
Surely that would take ages and ages. I know it took 20 years to build, but surely that would take ages.
Why later ones
No.
aren't as large as the Great Pyramid. For time, builders couldn't have captured enough water for a hydraulic lift system. They'd have to rely on human strength to lift heavy stones. So does this theory hold water? Experts are mostly skeptical. Zahi Hawass, a leading figure in Egyptology, says the theory is completely wrong.
Yeah, I'll talk about it in a minute after this. We're nearly done.
The pyramid in the study is not only smaller than Khufu's Great Pyramid, but differs structurally and was built of far lighter stones. So if Khufu's pyramid were built with some kind of water elevator, it would have to be bigger and perhaps more complex.
Maybe
so far,
that's what the
no
things
comparable
underneath
shaft
were.
is known to exist in the Great Pyramid. Ramps, however, are found all over archaeological excavations of ancient Egypt. So the most common theories continue to put forward some sort of ramp as the dominant construction model. There are other potentially viable scientific theories that try to solve pieces of this puzzle. One expert we spoke with suggests multiple smaller ramps from all sides to cut down on construction time. But to this day, there is still no generally accepted theory for how they did it. In any case, it's good to be wary of all the claims coming out about finally solving the mystery. Everyone wants to be the one to definitively figure it out.
The Great Pyramid is the last of the 7 wonders of the world we have left. It's so old, even Cleopatra considered it ancient. But even though they've been around thousands of years, it's actually very strange we haven't found any blueprints for the pyramids. The ancient Egyptians were obsessive documenters. We have their tax records, their love poems, their receipts for donkey feed purchases from 4,000 years ago.
What? But not the blue. I find it mad. So you're telling me, like, there's so much. Yo, DT, what are you saying, bro? There is so much in this of ancient Egypt that is documented, yet they haven't put how they built pyramid. That's just so weird. And like everything that adds up about every little fact about the pyramids. Fuck right off. The pyramids that add up is just weird. It's just strange. I was learning this in history like a year ago, bro. I find it so interesting. I find like mysteries of the world so interesting because it's like you're telling me there's nobody on this earth that definitely knows. It's so strange, bro. Like, and how long ago they were built. Like, it is actually a ridiculous time ago. I'd love to look at like the alien theories and stuff, like space and theory. I love space and theories and stuff, man.
Papyri with plans for the pyramids have never been found. Whether the plans were lost, hidden, or intentionally destroyed, we don't know. But what we do
Why would
know,
you do
and what
that,
science might be at the brink of confirming, is already very incredible. In 2017, scientists discovered a mysterious void in the Great Pyramid using cutting-edge particle physics. Researchers have yet to access these spaces. Some archaeologists believe the big void isn't so mysterious, that it's probably just structural, built as a stress-relieving spaces so the inner chambers wouldn't collapse. Some believe it helped refine Udon's theory of the Grand Gallery counterweight system. Others, including Egypt's top archaeologist, Zahi Hawass, suggest the void might be Khufu's real burial chamber. Because that's the other great unsolved mystery of the pyramids.
Oh my god, have they never
Khufu's
found
mummy
it?
and all of his treasures have never been found. Whatever it's for, the big void reveals there's a lot more investigation needed to fully understand the Great Pyramid.
Wait, they've not even searched the whole thing. Stress relieving. Yeah, so in archaeology and in many structural things, stress can be built up, and so you need to do specific things that relieves that stress so it doesn't crumble the structure. But they haven't even checked the whole thing. And the do you know how that is scary, Knuckles, bro? Like, I'm not gonna, like the ocean. They haven't even searched it. They've not even found the mummy. And do you know what? One thing about ancient Egypt that really it's not really tied to the Great Pyramid, but then I guess it could be, is you know when they found Tutankhamun's tomb? I think it was the two archaeologists or whoever it was that found the tomb died. Someone got like a illness, and someone else they just died. That's so creepy, bro. It's a coincidence, but it's just ridiculous. ridiculous. When I went in there, it was so tight and confined as well. You could barely breathe. It was just, honestly, it was so weird. So weird. I got stung by you got stung by a jellyfish? Really? Why don't we search it? Search what, Liv? Do you believe in reincarnation? Like, do you spawn in as another baby, then you grow up? I've not put enough research into it to think about it. I don't think so. I don't think I believe in reincarnation. No, I'll be honest. I don't think I have. But yeah, no, it's ridiculous. I just don't see how they built them to such perfection without that. No, I tell you what, I do. I think what it was I think they had different technology. I think, you know how they're like, oh, they didn't have the technologies. I think that they did have technology to do this, but I think it was, how did they do stuff about ChatGPT? I think they had their own ChatGPT. I'll be honest, I think they did. I think they had technology that we don't know about. That we genuinely, I do believe that. I think that's one thing that I do believe. They had stuff that we don't know about, or we can't quite even comprehend in our brains. Because, like, when you even, like, I saw a Joella vid, when you go look at, like, the statues and the stuff that's in there, their heads are bigger, they're much taller, they're different beings to us. They was, like, the most advanced. That's what I'm saying. I think they were further advanced than us. I'm not even gonna lie. I think some stuff. Does anywhere in the Bible talk about the pyramids or anything? Because I know the Bible talks about Egypt a lot, but it doesn't talk about. I mean, I guess this was before Christ, wasn't it? Really? But if it was before Christ, did the pyramids come in? That's one thing that I would be intrigued in looking at. I don't know myself. It's just so intriguing, honestly. But I'm gonna leave that one there, I think.